WWE's newest major signing has been leaked. Vince McMahon is close to a full split with WWE, and a longtime AEW star has left the company. But first, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest pro wrestling news. But let's begin by running down the results from Night 2 of WrestleMania 40. The show would kick off with the WWE World Heavyweight title match that saw Seth Rollins put his title on the line against Drew McIntyre, with the Scotsman looking to win his third world title and his first in front of a crowd. In the end, he would manage to achieve that goal after putting Rollins away after several claymores were enough to get the pinfall, but the night didn't end there for the Scottish psychopath. After the match, Drew would gloat about his win in the face of his foe CM Punk, who was on the commentary desk, with the Second City Saint losing his patience before taking him out with his arm brace. The music of Damian Priest would then hit, who successfully cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase to cut McIntyre's celebrations short. The Pride would then defeat the Final Testament in a street fight refereed by ECW legend Bubba Ray Dudley in the home of Extreme Philadelphia, before LA Knight knocked off AJ Styles to win his first ever WrestleMania match. Logan Paul would then manage to somehow overcome the odds in what was essentially a handicap match against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens to retain his United States title, with Royal Rumble winner Bayley then having enough to topple WWE Women's Champion Io Sky, this being her first singles win on the grandest stage of them all. It was then time for the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes to take on the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship, this under Bloodline rules, meaning anything goes. The stipulation, as expected, led to interference from Roman's family members Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and The Rock, yet Rhodes found backup in John Cena, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and The Undertaker, with the even playing field allowing Cody to finally finish his story and walk away with the WWE Championship. But what was your favourite moment from WrestleMania, and which night did you think was the best of the two? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And next up, WWE is set to move away from sports entertainment. Those that watched last night's broadcast of WrestleMania 40 would have noticed a term not often used over the years, used much more, that being professional wrestling. Instead, we've usually heard WWE referred to as sports entertainment for the best part of 4 decades, a term that was of course coined by former WWE chairman Vince McMahon, who is very particular about the words and phrases used on his television programs, with him seeing pro wrestling as a dirty word. Now, with Triple H at the helm, the WWE mindset has clearly taken a 180, with them now seemingly willing to embrace the origins of the business that they're actually in. I know, wild, right? According to Ibu of Wrestle Purists, the use of the phrase professional wrestling is a deliberate decision, as WWE looks to now move away from the term sports entertainment, and he would say on X, spoke to someone from WWE who told me that the promotion is deliberately moving away from the terminology of sports entertainment. Corey Brennan of Fightful was then able to confirm the tweet, noting that WWE has made the choice to move away from the heavy sports entertainment branding in recent times. But what do you make of WWE once again embracing professional wrestling as they enter a new era? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE's newest major signing has been leaked. Members of the Bloodline would main event both nights of WrestleMania this year, a group made up of various members of the Anoa'i Fatu wrestling family. With that said, it looks like the group may now be set to get a brand new member after a new WWE signing has been leaked. According to both Fightful Select and PW Insider, former MLW World Heavyweight Champion Jacob Fatu appears to have signed a contract with WWE and was even in attendance last night at WrestleMania, and Fightful would note. Fightful Select's Corey Brennan and Sean Ross Sapp both report that Fatu has told others that he has signed with WWE as of this past Wednesday, which led to him being pulled from a scheduled GCW appearance on Saturday. When Sapp asked people within WWE, they wouldn't confirm the news. Several in GCW were discussing the rumor backstage on Saturday. Those that Brennan spoke to within NXT have not heard this as of yet. Jacob is the son of the Tonga Kid and was trained by his uncle Rikishi, who is of course the father of the Usos and Solo Sikoa. According to the report, he may be set to join up with another potential new signing for WWE, that being former New Japan Pro-Wrestling star Tama Tonga, who too has been long rumoured to be joining the company, and Fightful would note. Jacob Fatu tweeted a picture of his father and Haku, who is Tama Tonga's father. There was word that a pitch may have been put together for Tama and Fatu to revisit that team in WWE. We've reached out to Fatu, who didn't confirm it, however he was in town today and backstage at WrestleMania. Jacob Fatu has long been touted as one of the best talents not to have been signed by WWE or AEW, with his size and speed making him a standout in MLW for the past 5 years. Fatu would become a free agent back in February and now looks set to make the next step up the ladder in the wrestling business. But do you think Jacob Fatu will align himself with the Bloodline, or could we be set to enter a Bloodline civil war led by Roman Reigns and The Rock on either side? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next, Vince McMahon is close to a full split with WWE. Longtime WWE chairman Vince McMahon finds himself without an executive role following his resignation from the company. This after a sex trafficking lawsuit was filed against he and WWE earlier this year. The resignation followed the sale of WWE to the Endeavor Group, something that in itself reduced his stake in the now TKO Group. With that said, Vince McMahon's influence in WWE continues to drop by the day as he is once again sold shares in the company, reducing his percentage to less than 5%. And Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics would report the news on X and said, TKO and Endeavor are buying shares from Vince McMahon in 2 agreements. Endeavor is buying 1.64 million shares for $142.6 million, and TKO is buying an additional 1.85 million for about $150 million, for a total of $293 million. By my count, after the transactions close on Tuesday and Wednesday respectively, Vince will have just over 8 million remaining TKO shares, and by my math, Vince will be down to owning about 4.7% of TKO. With just over 8 million shares left in the company, Vince still has his hand in the WWE pot, although he is far from having any kind of controlling vote. And finally, a long-time AEW star has left the company. The AEW contract of Matt Hardy was recently reported to be coming close to an end, with talks between the two sides yet to lead to an extension. It appears that Hardy's deal is now in fact over, this after a short extension was recently bolted on. Fightful Select would report last night that the former Broken One is now officially a free agent following the expiration of his contract, and it would note, Fightful Select reported recently that Matt Hardy's deal with AEW was up imminently. Technically it was, and his contract was set to expire in March. However, as of today, he's no longer with AEW. Word within the company was that his contract had actually been extended for a few weeks through WrestleMania. It remains to be seen how AEW were able to add time onto Hardy's deal past WrestleMania, with Fightful unable to confirm any injury time that would have allowed this, although this of course doesn't mean there necessarily wasn't any. With that said, his brother Jeff Hardy is still under a deal with AEW and likely has a lot of time left on his deal given the absences that he's had since signing for them. The news follows Matt's recent sighting at an episode of Monday Night Raw in North Carolina, which of course led to rumours of a WWE return, although apparently he was just visiting friends. As far as where he could end up next, Matt recently teased on his podcast prior to the news that his deal had expired that we'll know soon enough, and he would say, I'm very happy to be invited to return to AEW and work for AEW for the foreseeable future, but we shall see, because right now I'm just currently weighing out the options. There's a couple things out there, and I would say in the next month I should probably know what my immediate future is going to hold. Whilst we don't know what his future holds, we do know that Matt Hardy had an offer on the table from All Elite Wrestling and chose to allow his current deal to lapse before accepting it, with him now likely set to entertain multiple offers from across the board, perhaps from TNA or even WWE.